right. The shortstop is Alex Gonzalez, and Angel Martinez is the catcher. But with Sports Illustrated here, other national publications, ESPN, a lot of excitement, Tommy Hutton, surrounding this young man.
Well, it sure is. And listening to that music, I was looking around waiting for my dish of rice and beans to show up. But Prieto, what the Blue Jay hitters will see tonight, good fastball, throws in the 90s. Sometimes he sinks it and has a sharp breaking slider. His other two pitches, change up and curve, he doesn't throw as often. Keep in mind, he was pitching in an independent league in Palm Springs, California, made up mainly of kids that had been released by other clubs and youngsters. So he overpowered them with that fastball. He says he's 25 years of age, but the book and most other people think he's closer to 28.
Talk to me about the poise and confidence of Prieto.
Well, his first appearance, he was amazing. I think you're going to see a lot of that tonight, too. I think hopefully the Blue Jay hitters will cooperate, but
They've been cooperating with everyone else.
I know what's potentially there, so I'm scared to death. But he's got international experience. He's pitched for his country, so he's been in pressure spots before. He's a dynamite talent, good fastball, good breaking ball, and I think it'll be interesting if he can get going here early and even through his first 3 or 4 starts. He could end up being a big plus for us in the second half of the season. But this is a tough circumstance with as little experience as he has.
And it's 7:07 Pacific time. His first pitch is a strike. Tony La Russa alluding to his first appearance. That was in relief last Sunday against the California Angels. Against the Angels, he came in the 8th inning. He hit the first batter, Damon Easley. He then got Gary DiSarcina to ground into a double play, struck out Tony Phillips, then retired the side in order in the 9th inning, all on ground balls to Mike Bordick. Here's the crew working the game tonight. Larry Barnett's at third. It was Barnett that tossed Tony La Russa out of the game we saw here yesterday afternoon against Milwaukee after Todd Stottlemyre had some problems disagreeing with Barnett's strike call. Weekly hit to the first baseman, Mark McGuire, and the leadoff man, Devon White, is gone here in the top of the first inning.
Well, I'll tell you what, no nervousness shown in the pitches he threw to Devon White. Some good sinking fastballs and a little slider to hit that tapper to first base. If he continues to do that, the defense will come into play. Some good speed. Ricky was questionable, but Ricky's in left field. Ernie Young's the youngster in right. And Mike Bordick leads all Major League shortstops in fielding percentage. And it's also a plus, Brian, to have Terry Steinbach, a veteran catcher, behind the plate. He knows the hitters. Prieto just has to go out there and throw his stuff.
First pitch is a ball to Paul Molitor. Count even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Prieto, a member of the Cuban national team for 5 years, from 1990 through 94, set the national team record for strikeouts in 1 game when he struck out 20 against Nicaragua back in 1990. Sharply hit to the third baseman, Giambi, who throws him out at first base.
Well, there's some new faces in the Oakland lineup for this game. Giambi just called up from Edmonton. He's going to be playing third base, a left-handed hitter. That's because Ruben Sierra was put on the disabled list prior to this game today, and that's also why the youngster Ernie Young's in right field. So Tony La Russa, a lot of new faces out there, and Giambi and Young and Prieto.
Here's Alomar with 2 down, top of the first inning. Giambi steps in the bag, long throw, and he gets him. So how about that? On 8 pitches, 3 up and 3 down for the Cuban Prieto. We'll go to the bottom of the first inning. This is Speedy Blue Jays baseball from California.
Okay, wouldn't it be great if moms got paid for every job they did? I mean, come on. After all, they deserve it, right? But then, we wouldn't have to offer Coca-Cola in the 2-liter contour bottle. You see, it's an economical way to give your family the refreshing taste of Coca-Cola. And that, of course, is key.
This 2-liter bottle's great.
Because moms don't expect anything in return, right? Right?
Saturday. Laughter has become our new national pastime. So pass the time laughing.
Oh, now I know why they're called ball players.
Royal Canadian Air Force, Saturday.
If it can kill a bug, then it's going to be harmful to humans.
Your next trip may make you sick.
It's poison.
Spraying humans to kill bugs.
It should be banned.
Health risk or necessary evil.
It did a lot of damage.
Marketplace, Tuesday at 7:30.
Welcome to Nashville.
We have got a great lineup of stars for you.
The lights go on. The volume goes up. It's all out country.
The best of the best.
Best of country. Saturday at 9.
53, Angel Martinez.
Bottom of the first inning, and here is the lineup that Woody Williams will face. Ricky Henderson was hit on the left elbow by Al Reyes in the game against Milwaukee yesterday, but he will play here tonight. Stan Javier's in center field. Jason Giambi's up from Edmonton. Mark McGuire, 23 home runs. Baroa the DH. Steinbach. Tommy talked about him catching. Brent Gates at second. Mike Bordick the short. And Ernie Young was in center field yesterday, plays right field here tonight. And you worked the game Sunday afternoon when Williams was so strong.
And all you can say, it was a shame that he didn't pick up the win.
And the first pitch is a ball to Ricky Henderson.
And what Woody did in that outing was work quickly, utilized his fastball and slider and some changeups too.
That's to center field. Devon White starts to come in and makes the catch. So Ricky Henderson, the leadoff man, gone here in the bottom of the first inning. Devon a little casual on that as he backed up a step, then thought, man, I think I better come in.
Well, as you mentioned, Ricky, a last-minute start. They wanted to see if he could swing the bat, but you almost get the feeling that with that elbow a little sore, he's not getting through the zone, and the ball didn't go as far as Devo thought it would. And he, that's not the way you would teach a youngster to make a catch in center field, but Devon White can get away with it.
One down, and here, speaking of center field, is the ace center fielder, Stan Javier.
And again, Woody doing what he did so well in his last start. A lot of strikes, a lot of first pitch strikes. Now, I asked him if it seemed kind of strange sitting around the 4 days in between, not going to the bullpen, and he said he enjoyed it, got his work in. Said he likes to throw in the outfield, play a little catch. He also got his day's work in the bullpen, but he said he found it hard to concentrate down there, knowing that he wasn't going to come in a game. But he played a lot of catch in the outfield, a lot of long toss.
Count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes to Stan Javier.
This last pitch, a good one, and I think the changeup really comes back and catches the inside corner. But I tell you what,
gone swinging.
That high fastball looks a lot faster after you've just seen a changeup, and that's why Woody got the strikeout.
Number 16.
Well, the defense will be on their toes with Woody working quickly, and that's the way they like it. Saw the catch by Devo. Sean Green leads the club with 5 assists in right field. Robbie starting a new streak at second base, and the youngster, Angel Martinez, getting the start behind the plate.
Jason Giambi, first pitch swinging, high, shallow left field. Carter is there. Well, the same number of pitches for Woody Williams that Prieto had in the top of the inning. 8 pitches, a quick first inning. You are watching Speedy Blue Jays baseball on CBC. Coliseum here in Oakland, California. They've had trouble drawing fans. They're hoping that Prieto may bring out the Latin fans, a large Latin population in this area. They had 8,000 earlier this week, just 11,000 yesterday afternoon for the Milwaukee Brewers. First pitch is a ball to Joe Carter.
I tell you, a club that would be interested in having Prieto would be the Florida Marlins.
Well, that's why Nomo is such a perfect fit in Los Angeles with the huge Asian population. Of course, Valenzuela was a great fit in Southern California with a large Mexican population, but large Latino population in this area.
Tell you what, with the success of Nomo and everybody's watching what Prieto does, I know a lot of scouts now are looking into Japan. Of course, it's a little different story for the Cubans to try to get to the United States.
Foul ball down the right side. Listen, we might as well deal with this early. I'm sure many people watching are asking right now, how did Prieto get to the United States? Did he defect from the Cuban national team? He arrived here April the 7th, one of 20,000 with family in the U.S. that were made eligible for entry into this country by President Clinton. It turns out his father-in-law is an American citizen. He used his wife's maiden name, and that's how he came to the United States April the 7th of this year and currently lives in Florida. Someone said to him, they took you off the national team. Were they afraid you were going to defect? He said, quite frankly, yes. And the way it was going, I would have even gone to Haiti. Warnick, the shortstop, is waved off by the center fielder Stan Javier, and Joe Carter is gone here in the top of the second inning.
Well, Prieto made some pretty good pitches to Joe, and keep in mind these hitters seeing the right-hander for the first time. Now, that makes a difference. Even though that was a pretty good pitch to hit, you don't know what you're going to see in certain situations, and Terry Steinbach told me the same thing. He doesn't know what Prieto has confidence in certain counts. So it's going to be an interesting combination, those two working.
First pitch, a strike to John Olerud. That's a ball. Inside, and the count is 2 balls and 1 strike.
Tried to come up with his fastball. He appears to have better success when it's down, but that ball seemed to sail in a little bit too, so good movement on that high fastball.
That one was down, and that's strike 2.
He came back and got him with either what looked like the slider or maybe a changeup and fooled John.
They say he's got a wicked slider, and that's what he used to eliminate the Angels on Sunday. A check swing fouled off down the left side.
Well, when you're tentative and not swinging the bat well anyway, it's even tougher when you're facing someone you've never seen. So the slider fools him, and then the fastball is by John. All he can do is foul it off the opposite way.
Crowd doesn't like it. It's a ball, and the count is full. Prieto is now retired 5 in a row.
Not too often do you see John swing at 2 pitches during an at-bat that are out of the strike zone. But again, good movement on an off-speed pitch. That ball just had severe dive to it. Talking to some scouts earlier, Brian, who had seen Prieto pitch in Palm Springs. They had an interesting story about him. the manager at the Palm Springs club, former Major League hitter and a good one, Jeff Burrows. And they asked Burrows if he thought he could hit him, and he said, heck no. He said he's overpowering these young kids, too.
And he said, I don't have to hit him. Ed Sprague to the shortstop, Bornick. On to McGuire at first. And Ariel Prieto, the former Cuban national star, is now retired 6 in a row. This is Speedy Blue Jays Baseball live from California.
Tak se snažím sehnat ten nový operační systém Chicago. Pořád odaluji jeho uvedení na trh.
Ten nový OS2 VAR pod IBM se zdá být vynikající.
OS2 VAR?
Zrovna jsem o něm četla v časopise. Máte tam opravdový multitasking? Snadný přístup do internetu.
Hrozně ráda bych tu síť vyzkoušel. To je můj beeper.
Hey amigos, here are chicken fajitas from McDonald's. They've got fresh tomatoes, green peppers and onions. Whoops, nothing rhymes with onions. So forget it, we'll sing about seasoned chicken topped with cheese and rolled in a soft tortilla shell. Chicken fajitas, 2 for just $2.99. 2 for just $2.99. $2.99. Delicioso. Ooh, have you had your break today?
We have a smoke at 6012.
Sonny McDonald, the Northwest Territories firefighter who loves to battle the forces of nature. But when he gets home, he's most comfortable working with nature as an internationally known carver.
You see things in the material, and I hold the key to whatever image, animal, bird that's imprisoned in that piece of wood or moose antler.
Sonny McDonald, on the road again, Tuesday at 7.
Sunday on 50 Up, one man's crusade against hate on the information superhighway.
The tactics are the same, but the battlefield has now moved to computers.
Sunday on most CBC stations.
Evelyn Hart, prima ballerina and crusader for AIDS. That story coming up on Alive.
Back in Oakland, in the first pitch to Mark McGuire's a ball. McGuire being healthy and in the lineup after injuries for the past 2 years. And Tony La Russa told me before the game that's a big difference in this team and one of the major reasons, Tommy, that it's above 500.
That's right, and he really claims that's the only reason he's having the success. He is healthy, he got himself in great shape, and he's getting a chance to play pain-free.
He has 23 home runs.
24.
There is number 24.
If you haven't seen Apollo 13 yet, you just got a preview. He launches this, a fastball out over the plate. Keep in mind, prior to his 2 injury-filled seasons, he averaged 36 home runs and 100 RBIs a season. He knows right then that that ball is deep into the seats.
First pitch to the designated hitter, Geronimo Baroa, is fouled back, so give McGuire 24 home runs. That ties him for the Major League lead with Boston's move on. And I'll tell you what, this is a very fair park as far as the pitchers are concerned. No cheap home runs here, and that was about 20 rows back. Big foul territory here down both lines. A lot of room for the catcher, third baseman, first baseman to maneuver. For Mark McGuire, that was his 137th career home run off Toronto pitching. Check that, make it his 13th. Hit to center field. Devon White is there. And just a reminder, the Queen's Plate. I'll be joining Jim Bannon, Dan Kenny, and Terry Leibel at 5 Eastern Sunday afternoon. 14 horses officially entered today in the Stronach entry. The favorite, Frank Stronach, won with Basquian last year, and he's trying to win for the second year in a row. The oldest continuously run stakes race in all of North America. One of our great sporting events in Canada. First pitch is a ball to Terry Steinbach, so that's the 13th career home run off Toronto pitching. I looked at the number and I thought the T looked like a 7 to me. You talk about Steinbach. He's played so well, fielded by Ed Sprague, got to John Olerud at first, but Steinbach has really had a big season, Tommy.
Yeah, he sure has. Most RBIs he's ever had at the All-Star break is what he has right now, 43. And he's supplying long ball, 10 home runs. A lot of people in Oakland feel that he should have been elected to the All-Star game this year. He has been an All-Star in the past, but he wasn't elected this year.
There's manager Tony La Russa. A lot of people speculate he could be gone to the Chicago White Sox next season. So with 2 down, here's the second baseman Brent Gates, and the first pitch is ball 1.
Woody can establish to the Oakland hitters that he can get this big curveball in for strikes. That just improves his fastball.
That's not deep. Right field. Sean Green is there and makes the play. Through 2 innings, still no score here in Northern California until the home run by Mark McGuire, and the A's take a 1-0 lead.
Mix it up.
I'll block, baby. Like they can't take defense, baby.
Taking into the well. Got to be bigger than that.
No shot. No shot.
Don't
no
give me
shot.
that, man.
What you ain't got?
You know how we do this in school.
Here we go.
Cut thirst in a powerful way with new Powerade Thirst Quencher.
Here we go.
Powerade, the next thing.
I named it Chemical.
A kingdom built on dreams. Defended by honor. Shattered by love.
For just one moment, forget who you are.
I gave one moment to Gonzalez.
The law will judge you! Sean Connery, Richard Gere, Julia Ormond. First night. At theaters now.
Well, look at that. Surrounded by water. Well, here I am at Georgian Bay, and you know, I'm reminded of light beer. Maybe that's because most light beers are so darn watery, you could almost go sailing on them. That's what's different about Blue Light. Sure, it's crisp, it's clean, it's refreshing tasting, but it tastes like a beer, not like a lake, like a beer. If I wanted water, I just asked for water. I'd ask for it. No thanks. Sit.
Speedy Blue Jays Baseball on CBC. Brought to you by Labatt Blue, the true Canadian lager.
Look at the crowd here in the Oakland Coliseum. A small crowd again tonight. It doesn't really look like it's 20,000. Both Tony La Russa and Dave Stewart blasting the fans in this area, saying they're not true baseball fans and they better get out and support this team or they could lose it. Prieto is retired 6 in a row. Sean Green leads it off here in the 3rd. And the first pitch is a ball.
They actually have 2 teams struggling, very much so. But even though the Athletics struggle, they're only 3.5, 4 games out of first place.
Comebacker thrown on to first base, and the Cuban rookie has now retired 7 in a row.
No batting, number
Well, as Tony
8,
La Russa
Alex
said,
Gonzalez.
you usually associate pressure with a rookie starter, but don't forget this man has pitched on the international stage for so many years, and as Prieto said, our manager was Castro. I was under a lot more pressure than I am here.
Even La Russa can't get that tough. I mean, he's a disciplinarian. Ask Ruben Sierra, but not quite as tough as Castro, I don't think.
Tony La Russa, by the way, is fluent in Spanish. That'll be out of play down the right side. La Russa speaks Spanish. Prieto's locker, though, is next to... There's a fellow that probably speaks a little Spanish. Prieto's locker, though, is next to Carlos Reyes. Dave Duncan communicates through Reyes. Giambi on to first base to get Gonzalez.
This shows that he has more than rookie status, even though he is that, but his age and experience. Now he runs a good fastball inside. He's shown a lot of the hitter stuff away, the slider away. This time he runs that fastball, heavy ball, right in on the hands of Alex Gonzalez.
Actually talking about Spanish, first pitch to Martinez, a strike. Alex Gonzalez, of course, from Miami. His parents both teachers in the Miami area. Speaks a little Spanish, he told me, but of course his main language is English.
I thought you were going to tell me they were going to put his locker next to Ricky Henderson and let Ricky communicate with him.
Count is 1 ball and 2 strikes to Angel Martinez. Ricky has a language all of his own.
Oaklandese. But he can play. And he wanted to play tonight. There's speculation, as you said, he might not because of that elbow, but he wanted to be in the lineup. Don't take that pitch next year, Angel, because that might be a strike. If they change the strike zone, that might be one. That ball getting a piece of Terry Steinbach. He's trying to walk it off. Yeah, you're a catcher.
Fucking your belly, you Kaiser looking bum.
Second full count for Prieto here this evening. And he strikes out Angel Martinez, his second strikeout. And the Cuban rookie has now retired 9 men in a row. This is Speedy Blue Jays baseball on CBC.
Who do you listen to on CBC Stereo?
Jurgen all the time.
Listen to him almost every day. He looks younger than I thought.
He sounds kind of insane on the radio.
It's the feast day of St. Coleman, the patron of roast beef.
He has respect for cats.
It's bright and it's eclectic. Oh, yes.
Jurgen Goth on Disc Drive, weekday afternoons on CBC Stereo. Sunday Report. Informative, comprehensive. The top news stories from around the world. Stories that matter to Canadians. Join Wendy Mesley for Sunday Report on CBC.
Makeover. Brian Laborski's riding a haircutting revolution in Canada. Now he's out to rescue the biggest salon chain in North America.
Just give responsibility, make your decisions, get it done, period.
Sunday night on Venture, right after Sunday Report.
Happy trails to you, until we meet again.
It's the kickoff to the greatest outdoor show on earth, and you'll have the best seat in the house. The 1995 Calgary Stampede Parade. Catch the color and excitement Sunday on CBC. A cash donation will be made to the World Wildlife Fund by the Labatt Player of the Game for Seattle and Obisform, the back care experts. Carry it everywhere. Obisform is made for people that sit, offering relief from back pain. Available at Shoppers Drug Mart, Eaton's, and Canadian Tire.
Bottom of the third inning, and the shortstop Mike Bordick leads it off against Woody Williams. First pitch is a strike. Popped up. First baseman John Olerud makes the play, and Bordick is gone here in the third inning.
You have to like the way Woody Williams was able to come back after that monster home run by Mark McGuire. Woody retired the next three hitters in order and starts this inning off with a pop fly.
Here's the right fielder Ernie Young. I was here yesterday afternoon, watched the Milwaukee Brewers beat the A's. Young was in center field yesterday, hit his first major league home run. Takes a ball from Woody Williams. Now, he was called up. You people in Edmonton, of course, we talked about Jason Giambi playing third base. Ernie Young was recalled from Edmonton Monday. Is 1 for 4 in 3 appearances.
You know, you see the list for Ruben Sierra, disabled because of tendonitis in the knee, but you have to think with the problems he's had with Tony La Russa that might go a little further, a little deeper. They've improved their defense with Ernie Young out there, because that's where Sierra's given them a lot of problems. He just hasn't been playing hard on defense.
Let me ask you as a player. Back on May 31st, Tony La Russa made the famous village idiot statement. He described Sierra as the village idiot, said he wasn't trying. Is that what a manager has to do, to sometimes shake up a ball club, shake up a player? Sierra did go on a tear, but then again, the last couple of games has reverted to form.
Yeah, he did go on a tear, and I was talking to one of the beat writers with Oakland, a Spanish gentleman, and he said that in Puerto Rico, the term village idiot is even more of a serious term than maybe what we would take it as. And the people in Puerto Rico were very upset with Ruben Sierra, that he would act like that playing for Oakland, playing for Tony La Russa, and he heard a lot from it.
Do you think it's a good move as a former player to shake a team up?
Sure. Sometimes you have to do it. Tony La Russa, how can you argue with 17 years of big league managerial experience?
First pitch to Ricky Henderson is a ball.
And you know, Brian, just to carry that a little further, you have to know who you can say that to. Now, there would be some players, if you made a remark of that nature, they might lay down on you and not play. So I'm sure Tony thought that out.
Young, the runner at first base, has yet to steal a base. This is his 4th major league appearance this year. He was up briefly in '94.
And you would have to think that he certainly isn't a threat, because in Edmonton he had just 1 stolen base.
That was in 69 games. Pops it up. Alomar just on the grass, and there are 2 down.
The batter.
Well, it was a long 4 days for Cito in Anaheim, wasn't it?
We talked about La Russa being so animated. There are those that sometimes wish perhaps Cito, not saying you should call them village idiots, but would be a little more animated in his dealings with these ball players, in particular some of the players that are performing well below what they should.
You know, I think some managers can do that. Some just don't have the makeup to do that. And I don't think that's Cito's makeup. He's been successful with the one he has. You can picture a Tommy Lasorda, a Billy Martin when he was alive, an Earl Weaver, guys like that, exploding and doing things of that style. But that's not Cito's style.
Williams still preoccupied with Ernie Young at first base. Angel Martinez catching for the Toronto Blue Jays tonight.
Looking into the dugout, getting a little help just in case Gene Tennis would maybe think about a pitch out. But he's calling all the signs himself. Only the pitch outs would be called by Gino.
Javier hits that to left field. Carter's back on the warning track. He pulls it in, and that's all for the Oakland A's here in the third inning. You are watching Speedy Blue Jays baseball on CBC.
It's the double treat. Check out my latest super cool clubhouse offer, where you can get the coolest stuff just by collecting Pete's points. See in-store for details.
The all-new Mercury Mystique drives like no other car in this class. With four-wheel independent suspension, a 16-valve Z-Tech engine that delivers the best highway fuel economy in its class, as well as 14 other features not found on any other car in its class. As for the rest, class dismissed. Drive the all-new Mercury Mystique.
In the course of 5 minutes, my life changed totally. All she said is, "It's Joe." My heart just leapt into my throat. I didn't know if he was going to live or die.
Now there's an easy way to get the life insurance you need. Term life from CIBC Insurance. Convenient, affordable, commission-free, and right over the phone. Call us at 1-800-403-4458.
You know, it's a miracle he came out of that accident alive. You just never know.
Speedy Blue Jays baseball on CBC. Brought to you by CIBC. We see what you see.
Top of the fourth inning, and the first pitch to Devon White is a strike. Prieto has retired 9 Toronto Blue Jays in a row.
All right, now it's time to settle in. Each hitter has seen him once.
And very quickly, he's ahead in the count, 0-2. Born in Havana, Cuba, he says, you alluded to it earlier, October 22nd, 1969. He says he's 25. There are those that say he's more like 28 or 29.
I'll tell you what, though, 6'3", 225 pounds, that's no lie. That's a good, solid build for any pitcher.
Out of play down the left side. So the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Now, I was thinking back to the last pitch he made to strike out Angel Martinez to end the inning in the third, and it was a 3-2 slider. And that's what Terry Steinbach was talking to me about, is that he didn't know when to call certain pitches, and now he knows that his pitcher can throw a 3-2 slider.
So it's a full count to Devon White. The Detroit Tigers have defeated Kansas City 3-1. How about the pitchers in that one?
A couple of all-stars. David Wells, Kevin Apier. Wells the win, though. Apier another loss.
Well, that is the first Toronto batter to reach base here this evening after retiring 9 in a row. Prieto gives up a leadoff walk to Devon White here in the top of the 4th inning.
Batting.
I think Steinbach wanted that pitch. He held it there for Greg Kosk to take a long look at. Watch Steinbach. He tries to bring it up, though. The ball was low, and it was a good call by Kosk.
Other scores tonight: Seattle defeating the Cleveland Indians 5-3. The Yankees losing in Texas. 8th inning, it's 10-0 Rangers. Boston leading Minnesota 5-4 in the 9th. Wonder if we'll see Rick Aguilera in relief in that one for the Boston Red Sox.
Big game for Randy Johnson in that Seattle ball game. 13 strikeouts, no walks.
Count is 1-0 to Paul Molitor. Grounded out in the 1st inning, 3rd to 1st.
This is a situation where I think minor injuries have also hurt the club. Normally, when you're struggling and you're down 1-0 with this combination, you'd have something going, but Devon White still has the tender hamstring. He probably doesn't want to pull it anymore. Paul Molitor struggling with the bat.
Gets away from Steinbach. White is down at second base. It'll be charged a wild pitch to Prieto. So after retiring 9 in a row, he walks White, who goes down to second on the wild pitch.
All of a sudden, the pitch that he's having trouble with is that slider. He's bouncing it up to the plate. And it's frustrating for Terry Steinbach. He looks to his right, and the ball trickled over to his left. See if Paul Molitor, even though he's struggling, gets the job done here and moves Devo.
Showed bunt on that 2-0 pitch. The count now 3 balls and no strikes. One thing, though, Prieto showed in his debut in relief last Sunday against the Angels was poise. Dave Duncan, the pitching coach, said he didn't get rattled. It'll be interesting to see what happens here. White rounds third base. Paul Molitor goes all the way down to second, so another wild pitch to Ariel Prieto. So Prieto now really starting to have troubles here. Tony La Russa looking on. Watch Steinbach on this play, the A's catcher.
Well, all of a sudden, we talked about the control he had with the slider. Now he doesn't have control, and for the second time, Steinbach is clueless. He doesn't know where the ball is. Finally, once he gets to it, Devon White's easily at third, but a good play by Paul Molitor, who knows the layout of this ballpark. Once he saw that ball get by Steinbach, he knew he had a shot to get to second base, and he never stopped. Good play by Paul.
Well, the Blue Jays have no hits here tonight. They now have runners at second and third, none out here in the top of the 4th inning. Paul Molitor talking with Al Clark down at second base.
The batter, second baseman Roberto Alomar.
First pitch is a strike to Robbie Alomar. If you're keeping score, that's a walk to Paul Molitor. And he takes second base in the wild pitch. Henderson coming in left field. White tags. No, he does not. He fakes it and goes back to third base. Look at Ricky Henderson.
A little game within a game between these two fine outfielders. Ricky's shallow enough. Devon White knows that Ricky has an adequate arm, but Ricky was in so close on that catch, he knew he couldn't make it to home. But Ricky gave a little fake. Devon gave a little fake. And they both kind of looked at each other. Had some fun.
Don't forget, Ricky has that sore arm, too, hit in the 9th inning, so I'm sure Devon White was thinking of that as he started to possibly come home. But now with one down, runners still at second and third, the A's leading 1-0 on the McGuire home run. Here's Joe Carter. Base hit. Devon White is in to score. It's 1-1. Here comes Molitor. It's cut off, and the Blue Jays take a 2-1 lead on the single by Joe Carter.
Now, Joe didn't give me a chance, but I was just about ready to say this is one of those situations where over the last couple of years we've been spoiled in seeing Joe Carter get a base hit and drive in too. Well, he did it on probably the first mistake that Prieto makes in the ball game. Hangs a slider. Remember, he's had trouble throwing it. He's been bouncing a lot. Didn't want to bounce this one. Hangs it right out over the middle of the plate, and Joe's all over it.
Now, that's only the first Toronto hit of the evening. Hits are even one apiece, and the score is 2-1. McGuire with a solo shot for the A's, and now the 2 RBI single here by Carter. John Olerud, base hit into right field. Carter will stop at second. And now the Blue Jays really getting to the Cuban rookie after he'd retired 9 in a row.
Well, again, second time around, they've all had a chance to see how his fastball moves, what his slider does. So they're going to make him think a little bit and maybe have to dip a little deeper into his repertoire. But again, aggressive by John Olerud. Anytime he jumps on a first pitch with that kind of aggressiveness, even the teeth gritted a little bit. You like to see that from the big first baseman.
One out. Carter's at second, John Olerud at first, and here's Ed Sprague. First pitch is a ball. Sprague, by the way, is a .337 career hitter against the Oakland A's.
Now, things have happened so quickly. It was also good base running again by Paul Molitor to score, and knowing that Henderson's arm is not good and a little sore.
Now he's behind 2 balls and no strikes. Retired 9 in a row. Walked White to lead off the inning. White took second on a wild pitch. Walked Molitor, who went to second on a wild pitch. White went to third on the wild pitch. Alomar flied out to Henderson, then Carter with a 2-run single. That's to center field. Should be no trouble for Stan Javier. The runners will hold. And there's 2 down here in the top of the 4th inning. The batter will be Sean Green.
The batter, right fielder, Sean Green.
Nice for Sean Green to hit a home run in Anaheim in front of his parents, a lot of friends. And his parents and some friends have made the trek a little north, too. They're here in Oakland, too, for this service.
Pulls it to McGuire at first base. He'll make the play unassisted. That's all for the Blue Jays, but they get 2 runs on the single by Joe Carter. You are watching Speedy Blue Jays baseball on CBC.
Inside every one of us is an athlete with a thirst for the game going on around us. It's life. And if you play hard at it, you get thirsty. That's why we make Gatorade. Hey, life is a sport. Drink it up.
Imagine a recreational trail winding its way through every province and territory, the Trans-Canada Trail. You can make this happen.
Each donation you give makes a meter of trail. In recognition, your name will be permanently imprinted on a trail marker. Join the Canadians and companies who care. Be part of the Trans-Canada Trail. Call now and put your name on it.
Tuesday on Man Alive, one woman's defiance.
A whole army and a whole government could not bring her down. One small, frail woman.
That's Tuesday on Man Alive.
Have a baby.
Lucille and Ernie are about to discover
pregnant women are susceptible to hemorrhoids and bad gas.
You're having a baby.
there are some things in life you just can't plan.
You should make an appointment with Dr. Susan.
Liberty Street, Monday.
We have a smoke at 6012.
Sonny McDonald, the Northwest Territories firefighter who loves to battle the forces of nature. But when he gets home, he's most comfortable working with nature as an internationally known carver.
You see things in the material, and I hold the key to whatever image, animal, bird that's imprisoned in that piece of wood or moose antler.
Sonny McDonald, on the road again, Tuesday at 7.
Back in Oakland, it's the bottom of the fourth inning. Giambi up from Edmonton today was hitting .299 with Edmonton in 69 games. Had 12 home runs. Check that. He was hitting .342 in Edmonton. .342 in Edmonton. 41 runs batted in, 3 home runs.
Talking a little bit to Jimmy Lefevre, hitting instructor with Oakland, about Giambi. That he's shown that he's very aggressive up there. Hard swing. Doesn't always make contact.
Some fan here yelling, "Get a haircut." We talked with the Oakland management before the game. They said, we call him Giambi. We hear both ways, Giambi. It's Sprague in foul territory, and the leadoff man is gone here in the fourth inning.
Talked earlier about the abundance of foul territory, and it makes it easy for a third baseman, shortstop, first baseman to wander into foul territory because you know you have a lot of room. You don't have to deal with the fence and fans right away.
Here's McGuire, who in the second inning hit his 24th home run of the year. Pops it up. Olerud makes the play, and very quickly, 2 down here in the fourth inning.
McGuire just getting tuned up for the home run hitting contest that he'll be a participant in, the All-Star game at the ballpark in Arlington.
Interesting to read that although the game is a sellout, you talk to ticket brokers around the United States, they say it's a disaster, many people being stuck with blocks of tickets. First pitch to Geronimo Baroa was a ball. Sprague reaching, makes a good play. Drawing John Olerud off the base at first, and the runner Baroa is safe.
First of all, a good play by Ed to cut this ball off. If this ball gets into the hole, it's almost impossible for Alex Gonzalez to make the play. But as he turns to try to square himself up to make the throw, John just comes off, but he may have had this toe. We had a little argument with Joe Brinkman and Cito Gaston on a very similar play in Toronto.
That resulted in Cito taking an early exit.
But according to Dan Morrison, the first base ump, John pulled his foot off and didn't get a big argument from John, so you have to believe he did.
Big cut by the catcher Terry Steinbach.
one of the reasons he has 10 home runs, which is a lot for him at this point of the season. He has been more aggressive, pulling the ball more.
Takes that one to left field. And that advances Baroa down to second base with 2 outs here in the 4th inning. Tommy, they've given Ed Sprague an error on that play.
That's a tough error. I mean, it
is a tough error.
Probably the right call, because if the throw is there, Baroa is out. But it's a tough error because he made a good play to get to the ball. That's how some infielders are penalized, because they have a lot of range. They'll get to a ball that maybe a third baseman that didn't have a lot of range won't get to. Base hit, he doesn't get an error, but Ed gets the error.
I would say a bad call giving Sprague that error, but that's the way it goes into the scorebook. First pitch is a strike to Brent Gates. Could be a bad call all the way around by the official scorer and by the umpire, Dan Morrison, down at first base. Inside.
You were talking about Rick Aguilera earlier. Well, the Red Sox did win the game 5-4. Guess who got the save? Aguilera. Stan Belinda, 7-0.
Tell you what, Boston needed to win, with Detroit winning tonight at home against Kansas City.
Let's get one more look at John Olerud's foot at first base as the throw. But again, this angle, you can't really tell if the toe is on the bag as the heel comes up. No question in Morrison's mind, though.
When you see it from that angle, you see why the error was given to Ed Sprague. The scorer believing that there was plenty of time to make the throw, even though he made a great play in getting to the ball. But still, that is a very tough error. Gates steps out. 13 runs batted in. Baroa's on second. Steinbach's on first. It's 2-1 Toronto. Woody Williams wants to talk with his young catcher, Angel Martinez.
Good call. Woody and Angel having a little trouble getting together on signs, or what particular pitch they want to throw on this 2-2 pitch to Gates. So Woody, the veteran, calls Angel out, talked to him, says, "This is what I want to throw. I think we can get him out with this pitch."
Baltimore has defeated Chicago tonight by a score of 5-2. That's a final in Texas. The Rangers hammer the New York Yankees 10-0. And you know, with the Yankees losing Key on the disabled list, you have to wonder how long it will be before George Steinbrenner makes a move for perhaps David Cone.
Now, there are a few clubs interested in David Cone, the Angels being another, Cincinnati Reds and the National League another.
Are we at Fenway?
Is this guy giving signs or what? A little harder to do here in Oakland because you're situated more in right center field, but that's a pretty good ticket right there.
Pulls it foul again. No, you mentioned other teams. California Angels now with the Disney Corporation backing them as we show you exactly where the gentleman trying to tan the top of the head was sitting, or still is sitting. California Angels interested in David Cone. Peter Gammons, the highly respected baseball writer with the Boston Globe at ESPN, says don't count out the Cleveland Indians. They want one more good start. Atlanta Braves won tonight in the National League, 8-4 over San Francisco. The Phillies lose again, 8-2. The Expos are being hammered, 11-1 at Coors Field in Colorado. That game now in the 6th inning.
Dave, Woody has thrown that curveball, and Gates just keeps battling and fouling it off.
Yeah.
8 pitches, 5 of them fouled off.
A little better view from the bullpen here in Oakland than the bullpen at Tiger Stadium.
And that is the 6th pitch that Brent Gates has fouled off here in the 4th inning.
Gates, a young player that the Athletics really feel has a good future. He tore ligaments in his right thumb last year and had a knee problem, but they like him back healthy. He's seen everything, too, from Woody. Fastballs, curveballs, changeup. This time he fouls back the changeup. Watch his concentration. There's his changeup, stays back a little bit. Just gets a piece of it.
I tell you what, this at-bat has taken longer than the 1st inning, when each pitcher threw only 8 pitches. So it's a full count now to Brent Gates.
Just missed with that pitch, and again, we showed you a pitch earlier. That might have fooled the home plate umpire, Greg Koss. He's saying it's high.
Olerud flips to Woody Williams at first, and the Oakland A's will strand 2. You are watching Speedy Blue Jays baseball on CBC.
Introducing the all-new Eat More Cow.
What's with the camel? I don't believe this. It's new. Eat More Caramel. Read the script. It says loaded with peanuts and chewy caramel. And not too sweet-tasting people. I don't see a camel in the script. I know it's difficult to understand the difference between camel and caramel. Perhaps if you're a total idiot.
New Eat More Caramel. It's new and it's caramel.
Somebody get this camel away from me now.
Tak se snažím sehnat ten nový operační systém Chicago. Pořád oddaluji jeho uvedení na trh.
Ten nový OS2 VAR pod IBM se zdá být vynikající.
OS2 VAR?
Zrovna jsem o něm četla v časopise. Máte tam opravdový multitasking? Snadný přístup do internetu.
Hrozně ráda bych tu síť vyzkoušel. To je můj beeper.
About 200 meters now. Let's go. On your left up there. Left. Right straight. Come on, stay on me. Inside. We're doing it now. Let's go. Come on. On your right. Right.
Cut thirst in a powerful way with new Powerade Thirst Quencher.
I'm coming through now.
Powerade, the next thing.
Speedy Blue Jays baseball on CBC. Brought to you by Powerade. Cut thirst in a powerful way with new Powerade Thirst Quencher. The next thing.
Well, it's a clear, warm night here in the Bay Area with Tommy Hutton. I'm Brian Williams. Welcome back to the Oakland Coliseum. First pitch is a strike to Alex Gonzalez here in the top of the 5th inning. It was 1 week ago tonight that Gonzalez came through with that RBI single in the bottom of the 9th inning to beat the Baltimore Orioles.
Be interesting to see how Prieto responds after struggling in the 4th inning.
That's a foul ball. If you're just joining us, Ariel Prieto, making his major league debut as a starter, former star of the Cuban national team, retired the side in order in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd innings. And a couple of wild pitches, a couple of walks, and 3 hits in the 4th inning when the Blue Jays took a 2-1 lead.
Yeah, you look at Alex hitting in the number 8 spot. It's kind of a good news, bad news thing. The good news is that Devon White is back in the lineup. He got back in the lineup in Anaheim. The bad news is that Alex had to move down from that number 1 spot where he was on a tear.
Well, there's your answer, Tommy. Prieto has come back strong after that weak 4th inning with his 3rd strikeout of the game.
So batting catcher, Angel Martinez.
Either gets him with a slider, and it was a slider, down, moving away, in perfect location. But Alex, when he hit in the leadoff spot for 7 games, hit .441.
If you're wondering what that sound was, there's the noise. Helicopter appeared to dive bomb the stadium here as it's now coming back. Must be landing in the adjacent parking lot. Maybe Al Davis coming up for the weekend. It's a black helicopter.
Either that or it's Castro checking on Prieto.
Angel Martinez, base hit to left field.
That's one of the things you like. I know Larry Heisel does in watching Angel Martinez, especially when you see him take swings in batting practice. He likes to use the entire field. Stays with this sinker, goes right with it, and hits it hard the other way. It's amazing that he was only hitting .229 at Knoxville, but talked to a lot of people about that. Sometimes when you get to this level, many hitters concentrate even more than they were in the minor leagues.
First pitch is a ball to the leadoff hitter, Devon White. Now, you talked, Tommy, about Gonzalez being so effective, above .400 as a leadoff hitter. Is there any way you could juggle this lineup with White back in it and still keep Gonzalez at the top?
Well, I'll tell you what, you'd have to think about it if Devon's not going to run. If you hit him leadoff, you'd like to see him steal a little bit more, but as long as that hamstring is bothering, which I'm sure it is, he's not going to be running a lot, and he hasn't been running a lot all year. Devo has just 4 stolen bases.
Look at Alex Gonzalez.
Alex has 2.
You know, you talk about speed. Tony La Russa was once asked, would you take speed or power? He said, I'll take speed because speed doesn't take a day off. Power does give me speed anytime. He has plenty of speed on this team. The Blue Jays normally near the top of the league in stolen bases, nowhere there this year. Injuries are a problem. Another problem, Robbie Alomar says, is that with Joe Carter hitting behind him and John Olerud hitting so poorly, he doesn't want to steal second base because they'll walk Carter to set up the double play.
Yeah, and Devo and Paul have been going through nagging injuries all year, so that's where the problem lies in the speed department.
And it's a full count to Devon White. 1 out here in the top of the 5th inning with Angel Martinez, the runner at first base.
Actually, that helicopter, because of lack of funds and small crowds, instead of the big blimp, they could only afford a helicopter.
White, of course, running on the, or Martinez rather, running on the full count, will come back to first base. I'm a little surprised they'd allow a helicopter like that to circle.
Where did you park? They might be looking at, did you park in a no parking zone?
I think so. I'm surprised they let him circle like that, just off the right field side of the stadium. Well, Prieto has now struck out 4 And a big strikeout with only one out prior to that strikeout, and Martinez at first base.
Well, again, a good fastball. We've seen his sinking fastball, and that was just a good running fastball that Devon, it's one of those pitches close enough you have to go after. But just the perfect pitcher's pitch.
Molitor sends that to shallow right field. Ernie Young pulls it in. And that's all for the Blue Jays. You are watching Speedy Blue Jays baseball on CBC.
This child is choking. Do something. If you don't know what to do, we can teach you. This man is having a heart attack. Do something. If you don't know what to do, we can teach you.
This summer, put your feet up, let your hair down, and laugh. With Mike McDonald, Paula Poundstone, The Frantics, Brett Butler, and Jonathan Winters.
I love Canada, and it's a great, great country. I hope someday that we can take you quietly.
Plus a bunch of other great comedians. Live, not. From New York, not. It's Just for Laughs, Monday at 9:30. So funny.
The survivor is a woman.
Not quite home.
Where are the others?
They didn't make it. Not quite safe.
Was there an alien on board?
The nightmare continues.
I want to help, but I need to know what's going on.
Sigourney Weaver.
It was with us all the way.
It's here!
Alien. 3.
That's not possible.
CBC News World, your source for information. Committed to bringing Canadians the news all day, every day, live and up to the minute. CBC Morning News, This Day, News World Early Edition, and now 7 nights a week, The National. Find this symbol in your TV listings and stick with it. CBC News World delivers news, sports, business, and weather as it happens. CBC News World, news on the hour, information around the clock.
Bottom of the 5th inning at the Oakland Coliseum. And the first pitch is a strike to the shortstop, Mike Bordick. Woody Williams working on a 2-hitter here tonight, but this is significant. Bordick pops it up. Olerud makes the play, and the leadoff man, Bordick, is gone here at the bottom of the 5th inning. But as we were talking about Woody Williams, this is significant, Tommy. In 11 2/3 innings as a starter, going back to last Sunday, he has allowed just 3 hits, or 3 runs, I should say, allowed just 3 runs, both via the home run, or all 3 via the home run. A 2-run shot by Greg Zahn, the Baltimore rookie catcher last Sunday, and the solo shot by Mark McGuire here in the 2nd evening tonight.
They really have to like the way he's mixing pitches up. He's a low ball pitcher, but he worked Bordick up because that's where you want to pitch him, and he got him to hit the pop fly.
So McGuire with a home run here in the 2nd inning tonight. Woody Williams working on a 2-hitter. Ernie Young sends that one out of play.
Now, pretty soon, Woody Williams is going to get used to this starting thing. And I tell you what, if he keeps pitching the way he has, he's going to stay there for a while. You know, we've been talking about some of the moves that Oakland has made. Well, the Blue Jays have placed Michael Huff on the disabled list and have recalled for the 2nd time Edwin Hurtado, right-hand pitcher from Knoxville. And I'm sure one of the reasons, number 1, Huff unable to play. Number 2, a doubleheader tomorrow. A lot of games coming up, so they need that extra pitching.
Count is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. The right fielder, Ernie Young. Woody Williams. And with one down here in the 5th inning, the number 9 hitter Young is on at first base.
Now batting, left fielder Ricky Henderson.
Ronald McDonald House, the RMCC Children's Charities, the Canadian Cystic Fibrosis Foundation, the beneficiaries from the Joe Carter Celebrity Golf Tournament. I understand there are still positions available for that tournament.
Always a good day for everyone involved and for a good cause.
Alomar has a big one in late August for the Hugh McMillan Center for disabled youngsters in Ontario. Dwayne Ward has one the same day, July 24th, as Joe Carter does. Ricky Henderson to center field. Devon White pulls it in. Ernie Young back at first base. And just a reminder, tomorrow afternoon live at 4 Eastern time, Terry Leibel, Scott Russell and the crew at Spruce Meadows, Alberta for the Queen Elizabeth II Cup. Mentioned Dwayne Ward's tournament. I don't know, is he going to be there? It's at the North Halton Golf Club, July 24th. Is Joe Carter going to be at his tournament? I tell you what.
Joe will be there.
He could be in San Diego.
Well, if he's still with the Toronto Blue Jays, he'll be there. Of course, all the speculation. I mean, why wouldn't you want a Joe Carter to drive in some runs? The Padres looking for a power hitter. He once played there, drove in 100 runs.
New ownership in San Diego. Padres tonight losing 5-4 to Houston. That National League West is very tight, as is the American League West. We mentioned earlier the California Angels, very interested in David Cone, as are the Yankees, the Phillies, and the Cleveland Indians. Rolls foul. Mentioned the possible trades. Gord Ash in attendance here tonight. Told us last Friday in a very candid interview when he joined us in the booth, I said, look, if there's one player that I don't think you can afford to get rid of, it's Robbie Alomar that you have to build a team around. And he said, not necessarily so. There are no untouchables.
Just in case any general managers are out there watching, he does have a cell phone.
But he is no longer the hunter, folks. He is very much the hunted. So the count is now 2 balls and 1 strike to the center fielder, Stan Javier.
Quite a contrast, though, from the ball game that the Jays played last night in Anaheim. 10 walks and 14 hits the Blue Jays pitching staff allowed to the Angels. Good changeup. As a relief pitcher, Woody primarily would stick with the sinking fastball and slider. Now that he's gotten a chance to start, he's able to mix in that third pitch, which is a good changeup. It gives him more opportunity to use it.
Williams has 1 strikeout tonight. That was Javier back in the 1st inning.
He got it in that same fashion, only that time he missed with a fastball. Remember, he threw the changeup and then struck him out on a high fastball in the next pitch. He tried to come upstairs again with a high fastball, and the ball just gets away from him.
This time, instead of striking him out, he very nearly took him out. the second strikeout tonight for Woody Williams. Both times the victim has been Stan Javier. You are watching Speedy Blue Jays baseball on CBC.
Okay, wouldn't it be great if moms got paid for every job they did? I mean, come on. After all, they deserve it, right? But then, we wouldn't have to offer Coca-Cola in the 2-liter contour bottle. You see, it's an economical way to give your family the refreshing taste of Coca-Cola. And that, of course, is key.
This 2-liter bottle's great.
Because moms don't expect anything in return, right? Right?
Okay, 1 bag of chips.
The amazing Tiger Express stores at Esso. Wait till you see them.
Whoa.
With Tim Hortons coffee and donuts that are always fresh. Royal Bank cash counters.
Jeffrey, go see where Mom is.
All kinds of great snacks. Plenty of friendly service. And lots more.
Megan, go see where Jeffrey is.
Don't miss your Tiger Express stores at Esso. It's the evolution of the service station.
Jeffrey, go see where your father is.
You're on your way with Esso.
Saturday night, Rita and Friends, starring Rita McNeil. With her guests George Fox, Michael Burgess, Sue Medley, Wild Strawberries, and the Irish Descendants. Rita and Friends, Saturday night on CBC.
Friday night baseball on CBC from the Oakland Alameda County Coliseum, which later this year will again be the home of the Oakland Raiders. Al Davis and company coming north again. As you look at the stadium here, it's interesting. This ballpark, and it's a good one, excellent field, great food in the stands, is 29 years old. It's in great condition. Teams love coming here. With the Raiders coming north, there will be $89 million in improvements done to this park. And the first pitch is a ball to Robbie Alomar, leading it off here in the 6th inning.
You know what? Once the Raiders get back here, nobody will ever call it the LA Raiders.
I tell you what, the fella in the elevator here at the stadium put it into perspective yesterday. He said, look, he stiffed us once, he'll stiff us again. I don't understand what everyone's excited about. He's a carpetbagger. He, of course, being Al Davis. Alomar shows bunt, and the count is 2 balls and 1 strike.
Yeah, I think Robbie just getting his concentration back after the incident in Toronto. Then he came out to the West Coast, made the error, bounced back with a 4-hit game Wednesday night, and is back in a groove.
Back in a groove with a single to left field as he leads it off here in the 6th inning.
And, of course, will be representing the Jays in Arlington at the All-Star game on Tuesday. It's just that good opposite field swing. He kidded. I was talking to him about the game. I said, yeah, you'll have to get Baerga out of there in a hurry. He said, well, I'll let him face the tough guys. Let him face Nomo and Maddox, then I'll go in and play.
How times have changed. Alomar, the Toronto representative, very different story from a couple of years ago in Baltimore. First pitch to Joe Carter's a strike.
And a lot of good pitchers, by the way, will be rested and able to pitch. Hideo Nomo, mentioned Greg Maddox, even though he came out of the game last night with a little growing cold, but David Wells and Apier and Randy Johnson, they'll all be ready to pitch Tuesday night.
Speaking of pitchers, Ariel Prieto, former star of the Cuban national team, has given up 4 hits and 2 runs here. That'll be high and out of play. No, it's a home run. Home run. Ricky Henderson is standing in disbelief in left field. Joe Carter with his 4th run batted in of the night. He's driven in all 4 Toronto runs. It's 4-1 Toronto.
Well, if you remember, he got a hanging slider to get the base hit. This pitch again right out over the plate, and Joe with that swing that he hooks the ball. Ricky thought it was going to go foul. I'm sure Joe thought it was going to go foul, and the ball stayed in fair territory. Ricky can't believe it.
Well, it came back. First pitch to John Olerud is a ball. It was out of our sight range as it was so high here in the broadcast booth and was definitely in foul territory, but the wind brought it back in. And Joe Carter with his 13th home run of the year.
Joe now has 7 home runs in his last 14 ball games. Starting to drive in some runs. 4 RBIs puts him just 1 away now from 40. So you knew it was going to happen. All of a sudden he was going to get in one of those run producing modes, and he'll end up with 100 again, believe me.
Base hit. John Olerud's second hit of the evening. And the Blue Jays now getting to Prieto. He's given up 6 hits and 4 runs. Woody Williams, pitching a strong game here tonight for Toronto, has given up but 1 run and 3 hits. Steinbach is out to talk to Prieto.
Well, as nice as it is to see Joe produce some runs, it's just as lovely to see John Olerud swing the bat sharply. Second time that he's pulled the ball with some authority. Maybe it's that gritting of the teeth. It's the second time he's done that too. So keep doing that, John.
A smile there from John Olerud. Well, the A's wanted innings from Prieto tonight, and they wanted a big crowd. They were hoping he could draw maybe 30, 35,000. It is nowhere near that here. Oakland attendance down dramatically this year.
But you know what? Even early in the season, when Hideo Nomo was pitching in Los Angeles, they didn't attract the crowd. All of a sudden, though, they're coming out to see him pitch now.
Still none out here in the 6th inning. Alomar led it off with a single. Joe Carter's 13th home run of the year. Olerud then singled. He's on at first base. And the count is 0-1 to Ed Sprague. Gates to Bordick to McGuire. 4-6-3.
That time Prieto made the pitch he wanted. He wanted the ground ball from Ed Sprague, and then he let his defense take over.
Right fielder, Don Green.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Toronto Blue Jays Baseball Club, may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form without the express written consent of the Toronto Blue Jays Baseball Club. Two balls and no strikes.
Oakland with a left-hander warming up, Dave Leeper. So you have to wonder, even after this inning is through, if Prieto can get through this inning, if that might be all for him.
Gates, the second baseman, can't get to it. And Sean Green is on with a base hit.
Well, Gates had been shading over to pull with Sean up there hitting. Again, not trying to pull that. If he tries to pull that, he's in a little more trouble and hits a ground ball to second. He takes it right up the middle, even though he didn't hit it all that hard. It's location that counts.
It's like in real estate. Location, location, location.
Same thing with pitching.
Prieto signed for a bonus of $1.2 million. He receives the major league minimum of $109,000 a year in salary.
Big chance Oakland organization took, because in the June draft, obviously most of the picks are high school age kids, college age kids. So a lot of people were going to pass on Prieto, and were surprised, some teams were, that he was picked in the first round. But Sandy Alderson, the general manager of the Athletics, convinced his people to take a chance. We need a pitcher now, he said. Maybe we can get him out there. And here he is.
He was the 5th player selected overall in the first round on June 28th. Actually signed June 28th by the Eagles. Prieto strikes out Gonzalez, and you have to wonder, is he possibly done for the evening? You are watching Speedy Blue Jays baseball on CBC.
In the course of 5 minutes, my life changed totally. All she said is, "It's Joe." My heart just leapt into my throat. The front of his car in the newspaper, it looked like an accordion. I was really worried. Is he going to make it? I didn't know if he was going to live or die.
Now there's an easy way to get the life insurance you need. Term life from CIBC Insurance. Convenient, affordable, commission-free, and right over the phone. Call us at 1-800-403-4457.
You know, it's a miracle he came out of that accident alive. Joe likes to clown around with the kids a lot.
You can get term life from CIBC Insurance for as little as the cost of a cup of coffee a day. A non-commissioned insurance professional will recommend coverage that's right for you. No pressure, no obligation. So just call 1-800-403-4457.
Ice brewed. And the only one with a patent to prove it.
Closed captioning of this Blue Jays telecast is brought to you by Canadian Tire.
Back at the Oakland Coliseum, Cito Gaston has come out along with a home plate umpire, Greg Koss. Out comes the trainer, Carson.
Well, there must be something wrong with Woody Williams, and I'm sure it was something that was discussed even in the dugout. He pointed to his arm, just walking off there with Tommy Craig.
So Woody Williams, who was pitching just an outstanding game, he pitched 5 innings, given up 3 hits, only walked 2, allowed 1 run, is out of this ball game and will return to the Oakland Coliseum. You are watching Speedy Blue Jays baseball on CBC.
It's the double treat. Check out my latest super cool clubhouse offer, where you can get the coolest stuff just by collecting Pete's points. See in-store for details.
Okay, 1 bag of chips.
The amazing Tiger Express stores at Esso. Wait till you see them.
Whoa.
With Tim Hortons coffee and donuts that are always fresh. Royal Bank cash counters.
Jeffrey, go see where Mom is.
All kinds of great snacks. Plenty of friendly service and lots more.
Megan, go see where Jeffrey is.
Don't miss your Tiger Express stores at Esso. It's the evolution of the service station.
Jeffrey, go see where your father is.
You're on your way with Esso.
Back at the Oakland Coliseum, Edwin Hurtado recalled from AA Knoxville of the Southern League today to replace Michael Huff, who went on the DL as the new pitcher. It has been confirmed, we don't have the exact details yet, but Woody Williams leaves the game with an injury after an outstanding job here tonight.
Yeah, you know, and you have to wonder if all the times coming out of the bullpen, not throwing a lot of innings, even though Woody has on occasion thrown 3, 4, or 5 innings, that the wear and tear of his last start, 7 2/3, and then pitching tonight, you have to wonder if that led to that. Hopefully it's nothing serious, but Hurtado, who we mentioned earlier, had been recalled from Knoxville with Michael Huff being put on the DL, gets a chance now to work, and all he has to do is face Mark McGuire.
Well, it's interesting that Woody Williams, the last batter he faced back in the 5th inning was Stan Javier, and he got him to strike out, the second strikeout of the night. So as we look at the new Toronto pitcher, speaking of pitchers, we had a chance to speak before the game with a familiar name. Todd, with the exception of a blow-up after yesterday's game, questionable call that might have cost you the victory, you're the strikeout king of the West Coast. You've got 7 victories. It's all come together for you. What is different here in Oakland?
I think, first of all, I think I'm using all my pitches. You know, I've really become a 4-pitch pitcher, and I'm using all 4 of my pitches, and I think that they've made my fastball and slider, which is predominantly, I was a 2-pitch pitcher over in Toronto, and I think they've made those pitches better, but at the same time, you know, working with Duncan has been great. Having Terry Steinbach catch me behind the plate has been just super. He's almost like he's a coach out on the field, and he's been great to work with, and just been a lot of fun.
Well, he's the strikeout king of the North California coast. Randy Johnson would disagree a little further up the coast in the state of Washington. Yesterday afternoon, Stottlemyre was pitching here, had a 2-2 count. Who was the batter? Was it Greg Vaughn? And there were 2 men on base. He thought Vaughn went around. So did Tony La Russa, who was thrown out of the game. It was ball 3, and on the next pitch, he allowed a double, then another double. The A's eventually lost the game, and Stottlemyre apparently put on quite a show in the locker room, throwing everything from chairs to telephones. But he said, look, that's part of the game. Tony La Russa said, I'd rather have a player that cares. In fact, Tony La Russa had some comments about Todd Stottlemyre prior to the game here this evening. Well, obviously, those La Russa statements not ready. But what he said, Tommy, was in effect that he has been a big addition to this ball club. He's been a stabilizing influence here. We know his reputation is a bit of a flake from Toronto, but we have not seen that here so far in Oakland.
Well, I tell you what, he's the type of pitcher, and I remember talking to Tony La Russa opening day when the Oakland Athletics were up in Toronto. He's the type of pitcher that La Russa and Dave Duncan always used to watch from the other side of the field. Watched Todd Stottlemyre pitch against the Oakland team. He's one of those guys, they said, if we have a chance, we'd always like to get him in our rotation. And Steinbach said the other key to him is that he's been able to keep a lot of pitches down, and that's why he's been successful so far this year. So I think a lot of people, a lot of fans in Toronto pulling for Todd Stottlemyre. Hey, he's in another division. Had a good chance to make the All-Star team. Steve Ontiveros, the right-hander with Oakland, on the team. Fans getting a little restless because Hurtado getting as many pitches as he can to warm up, so they're wondering why he's doing that. But hey, if you're not warm, take a few more. You get that opportunity.
I asked Todd Stottlemyre, is it safe to say you've grown up here in California? He said yes. I've matured. I no longer do the, as he calls it, flaky things I used to do in Toronto. Hurtado pitched 2 innings May 22nd against Kansas City. Gave up a couple of hits, 1 unearned run, and struck out 3. If you're just joining us, Woody Williams pitching a strong game. As a starter in 2 games, Williams has an earned run average of 2.08. If the Blue Jays can hang on to the lead, Williams would be the winner here this evening.
Well, I'd say one thing, and it's probably because he witnessed what happened in Toronto last weekend. He's not going to hold his breath on that. He'd like to take the win. He should have had the win Sunday against Baltimore, and he didn't get it. But another strong performance tonight by Woody Williams.
So Williams leaves the game with an injury. We'll find out exactly what it is for you as soon as the Blue Jays make the announcement. The first pitch is a ball from Hurtado. So Hurtado's up from Knoxville, and he's facing Jason Giambi, who is up from Edmonton. Makes the play, and Hurtado retires the leadoff hitter Giambi here in the 6th inning.
Now batting, first baseman Mark McGwire.
Well, here's Mark McGwire, the solo homer in the 2nd inning.
Well, he got that pitch right out over the plate, and he has such power. He's now tied with Movon with a home run lead in the American League with 24.
First pitch, a ball. And see McGwire injured over the last couple of years, and the big difference, in his words, I have been healthy so far this season.
Now, most of those problems centered around that heel. Had some severe heel problems, and it was very frustrating for him.
Sean Green hauls it in. So Hurtado, in relief of Williams, has now retired the first 2 batters here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Sharp base hit to left field by the designated hitter, Geronimo Berroa.
Well, remember the one that Berroa hit last time up that Ed Sprague had to go wide to his left, made a good play, and then just threw a little off line to John Over. This time Berroa said, I'm going to get it by you, Sprague. You're not going to make this play. Now, he did get a glove on it, but that ball was a shot. He knows it, too. Berroa saying, I can't believe he didn't catch that one.
2 down, and to second base goes Geronimo Berroa. Wild pitch. We saw Prieto, the Cuban starter for the A's, with a couple of wild pitches that cost him dearly back in the 4th inning.
That's just a good live fastball there by Hurtado. And he does have that. Watch him go up with it. Get Steinbach to chase it. And a good slider. So a good combination there by Edwin Hurtado, the high fastball, and then comes right back with a perfect slider.
Hurtado strikes out Terry Steinbach, and Steinbach is a tough out. You are watching Speedy Blue Jays baseball on CBC.
From mufflers to brakes to tune-ups, under your car or under your hood, Canadian Tire has you covered because we have licensed technicians specially trained to perform each job, all with the experience that comes from servicing over 10,000 cars every day. And we install only quality parts backed by a nationwide guarantee. So when your car needs service, come to the place with the parts, the warranties, and the specialists you can trust to get the job done right. Canadian Tire. There's a lot more for your car for a lot less.
Our program this week includes mostly familiar selections with words that are as meaningful today as when they were first written. Selections such as the solo, I Found a Miracle, the well-known hymn, What a Friend We Have in Jesus, and the contemporary piece, He Shall Sustain Thee. It's a half hour you really can't afford to miss. I'm Cynthia Laird, and I hope you'll join us this Sunday for Hymn Sing.
Remember your first bike? That feeling of movement, of adventure, the feeling of freedom. You know, your bike could be anything, man. A pony, a motorcycle, or a rocket to the stars. Get that feeling all over again. Watch Cycle.
A cash donation will be made to the World Wildlife Fund by the Labatt Player of the Game for Oakland and AST. AST, Canada's fastest growing computer company, stays on top of the game with a winning lineup of value notebooks and desktop computers, including the AST Advantage.
Top of the 7th inning in Oakland, and Tommy Hutton was right on. That was all for the A's starter, Ariel Prieto. The new pitcher, Leaper. And Dave Leaper's first pitch to Angel Martinez is a ball.
One of the keys for Leaper is that he's been very successful against left-handed hitters this year, mainly because he has that big breaking ball. Lefties hit just .217 off of him so far this year. But with the lead, Cito staying with the young catcher. You don't want to start making all your moves because then Tony La Russa can counter with some right-handed relief. So as long as you have the lead, you stick with a winning combination.
Woody Williams with a sore arm is the first report. Nothing official yet. Leaving the game. He had pitched 5 innings, allowed a run, 3 hits, couple of walks, couple of strikeouts actually, 1 walk.
You know, it almost appeared that he grabbed into that bicep area. It wasn't the elbow, wasn't the shoulder. I guess if you want to think positive, that would be good. Maybe just some muscle tiredness in that area because of the number of innings he's pitched over the last week.
And it happened as he went out for the 6th inning because he struck out Javier to end the 5th.
I would imagine it was something they discussed between innings, and Cito probably said, well, see how it feels, go out and take a couple of warm-up tosses and let me know.
Woody Williams, no stranger when it comes to leaving a ball game with a lead. He's just hopeful that he won't see his teammates embarrass themselves like they did last Sunday afternoon. Left with a 7-2 lead against Baltimore. And of course, the Orioles came storming back in the 9th inning. Leaper, tough against left-handers, you say, Tommy, and there's an example.
Well, he had to throw a lot of pitches, and Angel gave him a pretty good battle. Looked like you got him with something off speed. Good pitch by Leeper.
So it's back to the top of the order, and here's Devon White. White scored in the 4th inning. He walked, went to second on a wild pitch, third on a wild pitch, and came in to score in the single by Joe Carter. And White, of course, with the new pitcher batting from the right side now.
Same pitch that he struck out Angel Martinez on. Leeper just taking a little off. You can see how Devon was fooled. He took that hand off the bat. Some pretty good pitches by Leeper. Pulls the string, then comes up and in with a fastball. So many times, and we've seen it a lot in the ball game tonight on both sides. We saw Woody do it a few times, throw that changeup and then come up and preferably in with a fastball, and that's exactly what Leeper does there.
So Dave Leeper, in relief of Prieto, strikes out Martinez and White, and now faces Paul Molitor. That's a ball.
Paul just trying to get in the hit column. He's 0 for his last 13 now, and think about it, last July he hit .393. There you go.
Base hit for Paul Molitor. Molitor with that good speed heading for second base, and is in there.
Well, the bat's starting to come around, and nothing wrong with the wheels. We've seen that tonight, the way Paul's run the bases. Remember, he walked, then went all the way to second because Prieto threw a wild pitch and then scored on the base hit by Joe Carter. A good swing by Paul Molitor to get this by Giambi, the third baseman.
So with a couple down here in the 7th inning, and Molitor in scoring position at second base, the batter is Robbie Alomar. He too moves to the right side. From the right side, he's hitting just .213, .349 as a left-hander. That's a ball. Well, the word now from the Blue Jays is Woody Williams left the game with tightness in his right shoulder. So you were right, he was grabbing that upper area.
Shoulder's a little more serious than where I thought the tightness was. Or could be more serious, I should say.